Welcome back to another AI Practitioner Exam Bite. Reviewing the question from the previous episode asking which service would be the most appropriate for this use case, the answer is B, Amazon Q Business. Amazon Q Business is specifically designed to be an AI-powered assistant for organizations capable of understanding and working with company-specific data and systems. All right, today we're going to be looking at no less than 3 exam objectives. First, describe the advantages of using AWS generative AI services to build applications. For example, accessibility, lower barrier to entry, efficiency, cost effectiveness, speed to market, ability to meet business objectives. Second, understand the benefits of AWS infrastructure for generative AI applications. For example, security, compliance, responsibility, and safety. And finally, understand cost trade-offs of AWS generative AI services. For example, responsiveness, availability, redundancy, performance, regional coverage, token-based pricing, provisioned throughput, and custom models. Let's start off looking at the advantages of using AWS generative AI services to build applications. AWS services offer, firstly, accessibility. They're easy to use even without deep AI expertise due to the managed nature of services like Amazon Bedrock. Next, they have a lower barrier to entry. You can start building AI applications quickly without extensive infrastructure setup. For example, with Amazon Bedrock, which offers a single API to invoke and use foundation models. Next up is efficiency. AWS handles the complex backend, allowing you to focus on your application. Then we have cost effectiveness. As with many AWS services, it's on what we call a pay for what you use, or also known as on-demand pricing model, which avoids large upfront investments. It also enables you to have a quick speed to market because you can rapidly prototype and deploy AI solutions. And finally, all of this allows you to meet your business objectives because you can leverage powerful AI capabilities to solve real-world problems efficiently and effectively. Now that we have a better understanding of the advantages of using AWS generative AI services, let's look at the benefits of AWS infrastructure for generative AI applications. The first is security. AWS provides robust security features and best practices. Second, compliance. Many AWS services are certified for various industry standards. We also have this thing called shared responsibility. AWS handles the infrastructure security while you manage application level security, and we call this the shared responsibility model. There's also safety through built-in safeguards and monitoring tools which help ensure responsible AI use, such as Amazon Bedrock guardrails. Let's now finish off by considering the cost trade-offs of using AWS generative AI services. The first is responsiveness versus cost. Remember that resources are being hosted in the cloud, so there is going to be an inherent latency. In particular, if you're using Amazon Bedrock models, then there could be a difference in performance based on whether you're using on-demand throughput or provisioned throughput. In terms of availability and redundancy, higher availability and redundancy often also means increased costs because you're running more resources. Performance. More powerful models or dedicated resources can improve performance, but can also increase cost. Regional coverage. Using multiple regions for global reach and also redundancy may affect pricing. In fact, very recently, as in August 2024, AWS announced cross-region inferencing for Amazon Bedrock, which is an optional feature that enables developers to seamlessly manage traffic bursts by utilizing compute across different AWS regions. Token-based pricing. This goes back to what we talked about before with on-demand pricing. With this, you pay for what you use, so you pay based on the number of tokens that you feed into a model. But the costs can vary based on the input-output volume and can also vary based on the model because different model charges differently. And provisioned throughput, which we touched on previously. This allows you to have guaranteed capacity for your Amazon Bedrock models, but does come at a premium compared to on-demand pricing. And finally, custom models. Fine-tuning or creating custom models can be more expensive than using pre-trained ones, as both of these options involve training models and comes at a cost. Let's do a review question to finish this episode. A multinational healthcare company wants to develop an AI-powered diagnostic tool to assist doctors in interpreting medical images. They have a team of medical experts but limited AI development experience. The tool needs to be deployed quickly across multiple countries and must adhere to strict healthcare data protection standards. Which statement best describes how AWS generative AI services could address these requirements? AWS services would require the organization to build their own AI models from scratch, ensuring complete control over the diagnostic algorithms. B, AWS generative AI services would provide a high barrier to entry, requiring extensive expertise from their team to implement effectively. C, using AWS would allow rapid development and deployment, but the organization would be fully responsible for all aspects of data security and compliance. Or D, the organization could leverage AWS's pre-built AI capabilities, global infrastructure, and compliance features to quickly develop and securely deploy their tool across multiple regions. Post your answer in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video where we're going to start our next domain, application of foundation models. How exciting. And just a reminder, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to follow, like, or subscribe depending on which platform you're viewing this video on. See you in the next episode.